The first stop on our Skye adventure is Dunvegan Castle, purported to be one of the great Hebridean castles, and the only one which has been continuously occupied by the same family for 800 years. It's the ancestral home of the Clan MacLeod. The motto of the clan being Hold Fast, which is shown on the MacLeod crest above a bull's head, as the motto supposedly originated when Malcolm MacLeod, the third chief, who lived between 1296 and 1370, was on his way back from a clandestine meeting in Glendig and was confronted by a wild bull. He wrestled with it while his clansmen looked on, shouting, "Hold fast, MacLeod!" until he killed it with his dirk. The castle was first opened to the public in 1933 by Sir Reginald MacLeod, the 27th chief, and the number of visitors has risen since then from a few hundred to hundreds of thousands, now squeezed into a space that was originally designed to keep people out. And it's still a family home, of course, occupied by the current chief, Hugh MacLeod. Whilst the castle looks like a single building, it's actually 5 different buildings underneath a unified exterior, all coming together over 10 separate building periods between the 1200s and the 1850s. Within the castle there's an extensive collection of Clan MacLeod history, paintings and heirlooms like the fairy flag of Dunvegan and Sir Rory Moore's ceremonial drinking horn. The fairy flag is one of the Clan MacLeod's most treasured possessions. It is thought most likely to come from either Syria or Rhodes, and be made of silk woven in the 4th century AD. Legend has it, though, that this sacred clan banner has miraculous powers, and when unfurled in battle, the clan would invariably snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Apparently, when Sir Reginald MacLeod, the 27th chief, had the fairy flag conserved and mounted in a sealed frame, as it is today, this was done by the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, the Viennese expert Mr. Wace explained his theory about its origins, including historical evidence that the Norseman Harold Hardrada, one of those early ancestors of the chiefs of the Clan MacLeod, whilst he was on an expedition to plunder the pilgrim routes of the Middle East, brought back the famous banner to Britain, and of course he was killed in 1066. Apparently, Reginald listened very politely to Mr. Wace, and then said, "But Mr. Wace, you may believe that, but I know that it was given to my ancestor by the fairies." To which Mr. Wace apparently replied, in historical politeness, "Sir Reginald, I bow to your superior knowledge." So, Crusader heirloom or fairy given gift? Who knows? But we're off to see it today. So follow along with us.
It's an old days.
Random sink in the middle of a cupboard. Well, it's a very small dungeon.
Yeah.
In the man?
Have you seen the pit? It's called the pit. Leon. Not there.
It's a pillow. So you don't bang your head.
Okay, and we're done looking around, so whilst we sit here enjoying a nice sandwich, I'll tell you about the facilities. Incidentally, in rural places like this that risk being swamped by tourists who happen to only spend in the big attractions, we always try and find little local bakeries and so on en route if we can. But whilst we saw a few signs for one on the way here, we couldn't actually find the building, and the only other shop on the way was closed. So today's contributions to the local economy are going to the biggest thing in the area. Anyway, getting here was very easy. There's a huge free car park. Access to the castle and the grounds was £34 for a family ticket covering both the castle and the gardens themselves, which is on par with this sort of thing in National Trust properties, for example, in England and Wales. If we had done the seal spotting trip on top of the entry fee, then that would have been an additional £26. So in terms of facilities, the castle itself is an ancient building, so no facilities in there other than a little gift shop in the basement, which actually had some very nice, if a little pricey things. The only loos within the grounds are at the start of the gardens, which are on quite a slope down towards the castle's jetty where the seal trips leave from. I think it's still passable with care for those with limited mobility, and buggies and so on. Back out in the car park, there are more extensive loos and a much larger gift shop and the restaurant that we're in now. So I hope our summary was useful. Please give us a thumbs up if it helped you. Thanks for watching.